This is the Neckband Pro from Nothing CMF, and I've been using it for the past 10 days out of the box without charging for even once. And right now it's at 30% battery. It's particularly an interesting product because it comes from a brand whose fundamental establishment is based on design, with the whole philosophy being design that fades in the background. CMF being a sub-brand of Nothing, which literally translates to color, material, finish, can be expected to follow such design guidelines. Okay, let's start with the unboxing first.
Really? It's literally just the product and some ear tips.
Oh, yeah. You get up to 50 decibels of active noise cancellation with air noise reduction, 13.6mm custom drivers which provide a rich bass, spatial audio and more. Sure, you don't get the iconic look-through design of Nothing, and it isn't very premium or different looking, which I think because how neckband headphones look like. But that doesn't mean CMF made carelessly whatever they could. It has a nice little matte finish which does give it a premium look up to some extent. Good looks for the price. Very lightweight, which is an important point. Also, you get a dedicated dial which enables you to change the volume. It isn't a smooth knob, you get nice little feedbacks on rotating. They could have tightened it a little bit more, it feels a bit too flimsy. And it also acts as a button. You can play or pause a music or video, and a couple of other functions like changing the noise cancellation modes to ANC, transparency and normal, which are accessible and can be customized from the Nothing X app. And this neckband is compatible with Mac, Linux, tested on Fedora Workstation 39 as well as 40, Windows, Android as well as iPad OS. And it should also be working on iOS too. All the basic features work, but if you want to access specific features and configure the buttons, you will need to install the Nothing X app on your smartphone and make the changes from there. By the way, Nothing X is the software which is paid to run with this device. Okay, I'll share the first impression on wearing these. They were kind of uncomfortable, and that was partly because I was constantly trying to notice how they felt like. But I was surprised the same day evening where I was wearing it for a few hours and I didn't get headache, which I frequently do on wearing certain earbuds. Okay, the sound coming from this is rich in bass, even with the ultra bass turned off. If you turn it on, it is even richer in bass. The custom drivers here do the magic, and you can even turn it up further using the equalizer. Audio sounds excellently crisp. It is in no way cheap sounding. The high frequencies are also handled quite well. But remember, this isn't the peak of audio engineering, and obviously I'm not a professional sound designer that I would check the frequency response of this at different levels. Sounds great from an average consumer's perspective. Okay, 50 decibels of noise cancellation is definitely an upgrade over the 25 decibels I used to get on my Realme TWS. But what is even more interesting is the air noise reduction feature. I still remember wearing these Realme earpods when I used to return from college in train, and the wind coming in from the train window would just obliterate any sound coming through the earphones. And it just made the active noise cancellation feature useless because I couldn't use it when I needed the most. And not just in train, even inside my house, having the fan on would just make them pretty much useless. That isn't the case on the Neckband Pro. To be honest, every bit of this product feels thoughtfully made. The transition sounds in the ANC transparency switch has this low frequency sound effect which you technically hear in movies before things go slow motion and silent. It isn't perfect because the sound stops midway if you hear very carefully, but 10 out of 10 for efforts. My Realme earpods have this voice which tells which mode I'm in. So if I switch to noise cancellation, it will tell the word noise cancelling. Or if I switch over to transparency, it tells that word. I don't really like this. I prefer sound effects, or specifically what Nothing has done in this one. Well, getting to know which mode I switch to is great, but the Neckband Pro is quite powerful and does the job of ANC and transparency so well that you don't need the voice guidance. But I shouldn't really be comparing it with this because it's a few years old, and I'm in no way hating Realme as a brand.
So I'm currently recording on both the devices to give you an idea of what kind of audio quality you will be expecting, and I will switch between the receiving end and the sending end. Obviously the receiving device is muted so that it doesn't cause any audio disturbance. So whatever you are hearing right now is directly coming from the 5 different mics that are inside this microphone. Obviously, all the 5s are not used for recording, and most of them are used for cancelling out background noise. Right now, as a background noise, I don't really have much. Only the air conditioner is turned on, so you can get an idea of what kind of audio you can expect when you're especially inside a quiet office room. Now, if I turn on the fan, you will get an idea of what kind of audio you will be getting. So the fan is just speeding up right now. and now we have it at full speed. So right now, as a background noise, the fan is at full speed, and obviously it is just above my head. So you will also get an idea of what kind of wind noise is coming in through the headphones. So yeah, this is a test. And yes, I intentionally removed the video in this part so that you can just focus on the audio and just try and understand if it is okay or not.
In terms of connectivity, of course, this is a Bluetooth headset, but it allows connection to two devices. You can switch between them easily using this button. I have this feature on my mouse and keyboard too, pretty handy when I need to switch between two operating systems. The Neckband Pro also comes with a no lag feature, which CMF tells that would make it suitable for gaming. I don't game at all. Even if I do, I always opt for games which are relaxing, for example Alto's Odyssey. But there is something more interesting about this game, especially in this test. Since we are going to test the latency of this earphone, there's a sound effect inside Alto's Odyssey every time the character touches the ground or completes a stunt successfully. And I did notice a significant amount of lag and delay between the actual happening of the event inside the game and the audio response that I got through these earphones. And even turning on lag-free mode did not improve the situation. I went on even further to try and find out the delay, but I don't think the result is accurate since I myself have some kind of reaction time. And yes, if you are new into editing, never make this mistake of using wireless earphones while you are editing, because there will be a considerable amount of lag and it will mess everything up. And I think it is inherent in the technology used, that is Bluetooth, because the version of Bluetooth that is used in this earphone is 5.x, I don't really remember, but still there is this noticeable amount of lag. And something else which I noticed when I tried to edit with these earphones is that it automatically switches to the hands-free mode of this earphone and the audio quality just becomes terrible. It also supports Google's Fast Pair and Microsoft Swift Pair, so pairing is quite fast and easy. It is seamless. There were 0 connection drops in my daily usage, and the connection holds up pretty well even when I went to the other end of the house, although there were certain drops at that point, and of course it is expected. Often I forget taking my phone with me and go outside my room. The connection holds up pretty well and the audio plays as usual. Although don't go crazy and try to use it from further away, it won't work. Now let's talk about the battery backup. CMF claims 37 hours of battery usage. I don't really believe or relate to numbers. What I relate to is in experience, and this earphone lasted me 10 days when the battery dropped to 30% on moderate usage, usually with ANC turned on. I charged it a few days later when the level was 20%, and frankly I was amazed how fast it charged itself to 100%. Basically, you can let go of the fact that this even has a battery which you need to charge sometime. Obviously, if you love your ears and don't use it 24/7. Next is the Nothing X companion app. What you might have faced most of the time after buying a smart gadget, the companion app asks you to sign up. Like, how is it related to me setting up my device for the first time and probably never opening the app again? Nothing X doesn't annoy you to sign in. It is just a straightforward setup which gets you going as soon as possible. They have stripped down everything to the bare minimum. Sure, if you want to sign in, you can do it, but it isn't a necessary process that you need to go through. And the app is beautifully designed. The monospace font looks so well suited. I love it so much that I implemented it on my wallet app that I'm currently designing. But what's even more interesting is how the animations are done. Like when you change the smart dial's control, it zooms in to focus on that area on the neckband. There are certain interactions that you can change, like triple press can be configured to bring up the assistant. At the same time, this page provides info on the function of other buttons. And look how well thought the layout is. Everything is close to your fingers. By default, you can switch between transparent and active noise cancellation by long pressing the button, but if you need normal mode, you need to add it from the Nothing X app, and then you can switch among the 3 of them. And it's feature packed. Like in ANC, you get control, so you can set different modes of ANC or just keep it at auto. There's another feature that produces an audible noise when you lose your neckband. This particular feature would be more useful in the case of TWS, but it's available here too. And it warns you not to use the earbuds while you use this feature. Other functions are also there, like bass control, equalizer, and spatial audio. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.